Get to know your camera. There are a lot of buttons on EOS Rebel cameras, but don't worry, they each have an important job and work to help give you high-quality images and outstanding effects. Let's familiarize ourselves with the camera buttons. On your camera, you will find a power switch, the mode dial to quickly control your camera's zones, the ISO speed setting button, the shutter button for taking pictures, the autofocus point selection button, the AE lock button, the aperture exposure compensation button, the live view movie shooting button, the viewfinder with autofocus points for quick focusing as you take photos, and the flash. You can even control shooting modes, exposure levels, white balance, picture style, autofocus operation, image recording quality, aperture settings, ISO speeds, built-in flash settings, and more. Your LCD monitor shows you information about the photo you are about to take in one glance. You can get a quick snapshot of your flash settings, shutter speed, aperture, ISO speed, exposure level, and more. You can even view your subject in black and white if you are using the monochrome setting. Some models even feature a great LCD touchscreen with easy navigation. Now, let's get started. First, you will want to set the power switch to on and set the mode dial to A, otherwise known as the camera's auto setting or Scene Intelligent Auto mode. As you become more familiar with the camera, or if you have previous photography experience, you may want to start experimenting with manual settings to choose your own ISO, aperture, and more. But right now, use the camera in auto mode until you become more comfortable with your camera's many features. All the settings necessary for shooting are set automatically. You just press the shutter button and the camera does the rest. To continue to make things even easier for you, some EOS Rebel camera models feature a high-quality touch panel LCD screen, which you can enable or disable for your own ease of use. Some have a vari-angle LCD screen that you can swivel around, while others have a fixed LCD screen on the camera's body. Just like your smartphone or tablet, you can use your fingers to tap or to slide the select functions on the screen. You can also pinch and zoom directly on your camera screen to scale your photos. A beeping sound is heard as you use your touchscreen. You can disable this feature if you choose within the menu options. EOS Rebel cameras are all about options. You can choose to navigate through your camera's menu with the camera's dial or on select models by using your touchscreen. EOS Rebel cameras have many great features you can take advantage of, but in order to use them, you need to know they're there and how you can use them to your benefit. Your camera's feature guide does just that. When you change your shooting mode or select a function on your touchscreen, a little description of that function pops up on your screen to let you know how the function can work for you. The feature guide is a great tool to help you get to know your camera and its functions. It's like a photography coach helping you out along the way to make sure you're getting the most out of your camera. You can also customize your camera with functions you find yourself using regularly. This feature is available while set in any of the 4 creative zone modes on your camera: manual exposure, aperture priority AE, shutter priority AE, and program AE mode. Now, let's delve into the menu. You can set various functions such as image quality, recording quality, and things like the date and time from your camera's menu. To access the menu, press the Menu button and use the cross keys to select the features you want to set. The items that will display will differ depending on which camera mode you are in. Basic zone modes for photography, movie modes for shooting video, and creative modes for adding effects. You can register up to 6 menu items and custom functions so you could easily access the settings in the future. To do this, press Menu and under the Star tab, select My Menu Settings. Please note that this function is only available in one of our 4 creative modes. Select Register to My Menu and select an item to register. You can register settings for items such as ISO, shutter speed, aperture, and more. Then select Set and OK. Image quality is an important menu feature. You can adjust your megapixel settings for your photos. The higher the megapixel, the larger the image file will be. You will generally want to use higher megapixels if you intend to enlarge an image or do a lot of cropping later. For everyday photos, it's okay to use smaller megapixel settings. For images you want to upload to the internet, it is recommended that you use a lower megapixel setting. The lower the megapixels you select for your photos, the more photos you will be able to store on your memory card. You can select to store your data as a JPEG or as a RAW image. A RAW image is the true original image. It has better resolution and color. Professional photographers like shooting in RAW because it gives them more control over the photography elements, such as white balance. You can shoot in RAW, then import into photo editing software, such as Canon Digital Photo Professional, which is included with your camera. Import RAW images to your computer, edit them, and enjoy incredible results. A JPEG image is the standard for images you intend to upload to the web because it compresses the pictures to a lower file size to allow for easy upload and sharing. You do not need any special software on your computer to view JPEG images. Your EOS Rebel camera has a special feature that allows you to both take a JPEG and a RAW image in one single shot. These images are saved to your SD card simultaneously. Images will be saved in the same folder with different file extensions, .jpg for JPEG and .cr2 for RAW. You inserted the battery. You inserted the SD card. You attached the lens. You set the lens focus mode switch to autofocus. Now that you're familiar with the basic functions and features of your camera, you are all set to start doing what your camera does best, taking photos. Turn the power switch to on and set the mode dial to auto. As you view your subject in the viewfinder or on the LCD screen, press the shutter button halfway down. You will see your image come into focus. Now press the shutter button completely down to take the picture. Practice this a few times in order to shoot like a pro. View your image right away on the LCD screen. It will be displayed for a 2-second preview. To view the image after the initial preview, press the playback button. The playback button allows you to shift between camera mode and playback mode. Camera mode is for when you are taking a picture, and playback mode allows you to view the photos you have already taken. Now shift to the picture you want to review. You can edit images directly from the playback screen. Select the image, magnify it to see details, or delete it if you don't want to save it on your SD card. Think before deleting. Once you delete an image, you will not be able to recover it. You can also add various creative filters to your photos to create amazing imagery. We will explore these filters in a few minutes. But first, let's explore your camera's flash. When taking a picture in one of the 4 creative modes while indoors, in low light, or in daylight with backlit conditions, you simply need to raise the built-in flash and take a picture. Otherwise, your camera will flash automatically. If the subject is far away, raise your camera's ISO speed to capture the most light possible. You'll learn more about ISO speed in a few moments. In bright light, decrease the ISO speed to prevent your image from looking washed out. You can also attach optional external flashes or speed lights to your camera. These speed lights are more powerful than your camera's flash and allow you to do some creative technique like bouncing light off the ceiling or a nearby wall. There are various types of speed lights, such as shoe mount or macro lights.